Morning fog drifts slowly across a winding mountain road, while something small waits silently ahead. At 33. 33 sits impossibly low against the asphalt, glowing under soft sunrise reflections. At first glance, it looks almost simple compared to modern hypercars, filled with aggressive wings and vents. But simplicity here hides something far more interesting than pure visual drama. Gordon Murray designed this car around one principle that modern performance machines often forget. The driver comes first. Every curve of the body flows cleanly across the surface like liquid metal stretched perfectly tight. There are no oversized aerodynamic fins trying to scream for attention. Instead, the proportions feel balanced, almost timeless, like a classic sports car reimagined decades later. Look through the rear glass, and the real star of the show finally appears. A naturally aspirated V12 engine sits right behind the driver like a mechanical masterpiece. Built by Cosworth, this engine revs past 11,000 RPM, which almost sounds impossible today. Press the start button, and the silence disappears instantly. The engine fires with a sharp metallic note that echoes across the mountainside. No artificial sound enhancement, no digital tricks, just pure mechanical noise filling the air. Light throttle input produces immediate response that feels almost telepathic through the chassis. You feel every vibration traveling through the seat, steering wheel, and pedals. 0 to 60 miles per hour happens incredibly fast, but raw speed isn't the real story here. The magic comes from weight. The entire car weighs around 1,100 kilograms, which is unbelievably light for a modern hypercar. That means every steering input produces instant movement from the chassis. Entering the first corner reveals exactly what this machine was designed for. The front end turns sharply while the rear stays balanced and predictable. This is where things get interesting because the steering actually communicates road texture directly. Most modern supercars isolate the driver from the road using layers of electronic assistance. The T.33 does the opposite. It invites the driver to participate in every movement happening beneath the tires. Inside the cabin, the philosophy continues with surprising clarity. The interior feels beautifully crafted, but intentionally simple compared to futuristic hypercars. 3 analog gauges sit proudly in the center, reminding drivers this machine values information over distraction. Touchscreens exist, but they stay subtle rather than dominating the entire dashboard. Leather and aluminum surfaces surround the driver with classic craftsmanship rather than flashy technology. The seating position feels natural and perfectly centered, almost like sitting inside a purpose-built race car. Out on open highway, the experience changes completely once the engine climbs toward 9,000 RPM. The V12 begins to scream with a tone so pure it almost feels unreal. Acceleration builds relentlessly, but remains incredibly smooth thanks to the lightweight design. However, owning a hypercar like this does come with a few realistic compromises. The cabin storage remains extremely limited because weight reduction dominated the engineering priorities. Ground clearance also requires careful driving around steep driveways and aggressive speed bumps. But honestly, nobody buys a machine like this expecting daily practicality. ICE, like the Ti-33, exists for something far more emotional. They remind drivers what performance felt like before technology started filtering every sensation. Night driving transforms the car into something almost magical as reflections glide across the curved body panels. Streetlights shimmer across the paint while the V12 echoes through empty roads. People notice instantly because the shape feels both modern and timeless simultaneously. It doesn't scream for attention, yet it commands it effortlessly. And that might be the most impressive thing about the GMA T.33. It proves hypercars don't need hybrid systems or massive horsepower numbers to feel extraordinary. Sometimes all it takes is lightweight engineering, a screaming V12, and a driver willing to experience it. If you discovered this machine through the short teaser, welcome to the full cinematic story here on Rider Zone 47. Subscribe, like the video, and comment your answer to today's quiz before the next hypercar arrives.